we go. And I'm gonna sit over here, okay?
All right.
So, we were just talking about how everybody here is interested in electrical safety. Everybody wants to focus on. They're all under one common umbrella of trying to drive electrical safety work practices.
Yep.
And whether we're competitors in the marketplace, whether we're duking it out in the market, trying to get market share and all this other good stuff, we come into this arena. When we're doing presentations, there's no commercialization. There's no selling of a product. We're all engineers and installers, scientists, doctors, educators, trying to educate. I mean, it just keeps me coming back.
Well, when I was working for the steel company, the way I justified coming here, I says, if I come back with one or two ideas
that
I can implement, it'll more than pay for the cost of the trip.
Absolutely. And those ideas might not even be a product, right?
No.
It could just be a way of teaching or a way of doing something different.
How to communicate, how to do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's a great opportunity.
I got hooked on the first year I came here.
I know. I'm the same way. I am the same way. Because you know, and there's the whole what we're doing here, just communicating with each other.
Yep.
Talking to each other, enjoying a beverage, dinner, connecting, and then I think more happens outside of that room and knowledge sharing than inside the room. But there's a lot of opportunities.
See, I didn't even know about this place until 2001.
Oh, really?
And I came to the steel plant in Kentucky. In 7 weeks, first 7 weeks, there were 6 near-miss incidents.
Really?
That much of a change in circumstance with 6 fatalities.
Wow.
So I went to our president and I said, look, I got 30 years of experience. This place is out of control.
Yeah.
Let me put together a safety program. And so he says, well, how long you need? I says, 8 hours.
Wow.
He just looked at me and said, no way in hell are you going to entertain electricians for 8 hours on safety.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so we put the first class on. He let me do that.
Wow.
And I didn't hear anything for 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I get a phone call. Joe, get over to my office right now. I mean, it was mean.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, my God, what did I do?
Yeah.
And I called my wife. I think I'm getting fired. I don't know what the hell's going on here. So I get over at his office, and he goes, what in the hell did you teach those guys?
Yeah.
And he was still being mean.
Yeah.
I said, lockout, tag out, PPE, procedures.
Right.
Did I do something wrong? And then he backs down. He says, no. He said, but let me tell you what happened. He says, I was out of town for 3 days after that first class.
Right.
When I come back in, every one of those 12 guys in that class was standing there at my doorway waiting for me.
Wow.
He says, Don, that's the best damn training you've ever given us. No
kidding. Wow.
He says, so, and when you have a class, experimental, what do you got to do? Everybody thinks about what? Lunch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Have a good lunch. So I had pizza. Everybody loves pizza.
Absolutely.
So he says, not only are you going to teach all 500 of our employees, you're going to teach all 300 of all the on-site contractors.
Wow.
Do you know how many pizza lunches I had to eat over the next 2.5
How much weight did you gain?
Oh, my God. I couldn't even look at a pizza. But that was the beginning of us becoming compliant with 70E. And then I heard about this thing. So I got my safety director, and we come in and give our first paper down in Dallas about how we converted from non-compliant to compliant with 70E.
That's amazing.
That was the beginning of my career in safety.
And then what happens too, like you said, you go back to your company, you bring back those nuggets, right?
Yeah.
You educate, and sometimes if you're in a position where you can educate others, like workers on a plant floor or whatever, that's great. But sometimes we're educating senior leadership to say,
absolutely.
This is what I've learned. This is our exposure, risk, likelihood, and severity. This is our likelihood. I gained enough information to say we need to be thinking about this. You may not have the solution right off the bat, but then if you can influence your organization to say, we need to bring some experts together within our company to look at our processes, because we have statistics, we have the establishment of likelihood. Let's start worrying about how we can reduce the likelihood and possibly reduce severity.
Yep.
It's just magical when everything
Top
comes
management
together.
is the hardest ones to sell.
Yes.
Because all they see is a dollar.
Oh, absolutely.
You want $5,000 for what?
Yeah.
That's all they think about.
You know, so I talked to an electrical contractor who was had a very well funded safety program. Okay, he still does, very successful. And I asked him, I said, how are you so successful? How do you get your organization to just give you the resources from a safety perspective? He's an electrical contractor. And he goes, he says, Tom, he says, it's something you have to remember. You have to talk two ways. He goes, when I talk to my guys and gals in the field, I tell them about getting home, about providing a livelihood for their family, about being able to lift that wrench or turn that screw or pull that wire and be able to make a living. He goes, but when I talk to senior leadership, I'm talking about lost time. I'm talking about how many OSHA violations and fines that we either avoided, right? Because we were able to address the issue before it became an OSHA violation.
Ones, the big ones don't happen.
That's exactly right. You get all those little ones, the big ones don't happen. And he tracks it. So he communicates one way down to all of his people. But when he communicates over here to his leadership, it's about financial return. It's about I'm protecting the business. We're going to stay profitable, and I'm keeping you out of trouble.
One of the most interesting effects of safety that I've had in my career was we bought, when I got there, we're racking, manual racking.
Yeah.
So I got 3 vendors in. We looked at remote racking tools. I let the guys pick one. Here, pick one. They picked this one. Right?
Yep.
So I bought one. It was $50,000 investment. I had to go to confession all the way up to future to spend $50,000.
Yeah.
And then I let them use it. I said, now give me some feedback.
Sure.
We had 6 substations. We bought one, and my technician designed, call it a wheelchair handicap rack for the back of the truck. You just pull this thing up on it and drive off and go to the other 5 subs. 3 months later, every one of these electricians are in my office. Joe, we need to get 5 more of these racking tools.
Yeah.
I said, guys, that's a $50,000 piece of equipment. You're talking about $250,000. That's more than my entire budget.
Right.
We'll see what you can do for us. Okay. So I called the president.
Yeah.
Can I come talk to you? And he says, yeah, come on over. I says, remember that racking tool a couple months ago you let me buy? It was outside my budget plan. Yeah, I meant to ask you, how's that thing working? And he says, I told him, too good. He says, what do you mean? I says, the guys want me to buy 5 more of them.
Oh, my.
And he goes, well, buy the damn things.
No kidding.
3-minute conversation.
Wow.
I says, Don, it's $250,000. He says,
buy them.
I don't care. Man. I says, but I got to answer to the CFO. And he says, he works for me. You just put the order in and it'll go through.
Wow.
That message spread through that entire plant.
Wow.
Our OSHA incident rate was 5.2. Within 2 years, it was under 1.
Wow, that's awesome.
Because electricians sang like canaries about what the president supported on safety.
Oh my goodness. That is such a huge message when it comes from the top down. And it's not, it's not about an email telling people we're committed to safety. It's not about a video saying we're committed to safety. When you put your money where your mouth's at, and you give your individuals, your employees, the resources, that speaks volumes.
My 150 electricians sang like canaries throughout that entire plant.
Yeah. Oh, that is so.
A 3-minute conversation. I could not believe it.
Yeah, that's.
And he gave me the authorization to spend $250,000.
Wow. Wow.
So it's been a.
So why don't you tell everybody you're Joe Rachford. You work for eHazard.
Joe Rachford with eHazard. I put a 50-year career in steelmaking. I finished up at what was Newport, became Newport the last year I was there.
Okay.
And then I got tired of it. I started working at age 17 at Armco in Middletown.
Oh, wow.
And then I come up to 67, and I told my wife, that's 50 years.
Done.
I'm done with steelmaking. And I met you, eHazard.
Oh, yeah.
Hugh Hoagland.
Yeah, Hugh Hoagland.
He came up to me in 2010. He says, you ever get bored with that steel plant, buddy, you call me. I got a job for you.
Wow, that's
awesome. I retired August the 1st. I called him August the 2nd. By August the 3rd, I'm on the road training.
That's awesome. So you do training?
Yeah.
You do training?
Training, audits.
Audits. What kind of audits? Safety audits?
Safety audits.
Okay, excellent.
I got one coming up there maybe in May or June with the state of Kentucky.
Oh, excellent.
Their transportation group. I did them 3 years ago, and they called me, want to do another one.
Yeah. Well, you must have done something good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Drive around the state of Kentucky, and
Yeah.
they've got.
Now, okay, hold on. Do you hit the bourbons?
I'm a non-bourbon guy.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
I would never
I'm
survive.
a Kentuckian. I was born in Kentucky. And I told my wife, when I did that job 3 years ago, I said, oh my God, I did not know how beautiful the state of Kentucky is.
It sure is.
So after I finished that job, we had to go to 12 different places in the boondocks.
Yeah.
I took her back to all those places.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Absolutely
We live in a beautiful country.
Yep.
Amen.
All righty.
Hey, thank
Good
you,
talking to
Joe.
you, buddy.
I appreciate all you do, buddy.
I'll give you
You
mine.
got to clip it. I'll clip it off for you.
All right. Better you take
There we go. Beautiful.
All righty, brother.
Thank you. Take care. Enjoy the show. All right. That